This is a pleasure for me to address such a nice crowd to begin our Centennial this year, which is the 100-year birthday of Williamsfield, Illinois. And I know that there's a great many of you that's sitting up here that kind of know how this village was started out in one thing or another. We have a lot of history in this book. I imagine everybody has. It tells you a lot of the history. And we have plenty of them over here on the table for you to pick up for free. And I think I'll turn this back over to children now. And I'm just glad and pleased to see as many of you just turned out this evening there is. Thank you. I'd like to have Reverend Donna Kaplan.
Shall we pray? Oh, gracious God, we do thank you for the rich heritage that you have given us and the freedoms we know in this land. We thank you especially this evening for the heritage that we know here in this town, for the great people that we know and that we have shared in their lives who have gone on before us to allow us to enjoy the lives that we know today. We give you thanks. And it deepens our commitment as we look forward to the future that we might continue to be examples of fellowship, of joy, of steadfastness, of dedication, so that in the next 100 years they may look back on this time and give thanks for what we have offered them. Thank you for each person in this community. May we enjoy and celebrate this weekend with a spirit of gratitude, the spirit of enthusiasm, and with a determination to make tomorrow even better than today. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Donna. We'll now have the presentation of the Centennial plate by Dixie Brown and Mayor Gene Young.
I'd like to wish you another hand.
On behalf of the village of Williamsfield, we'd like to present this plate for you to take and call roll call. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dixie. For anybody that wants information on the plates, we've had 200 of them made. They've all been sold, but 9 of them. And they'll be auctioned off uptown tomorrow evening or the next day. It's in our program. So if you want a Centennial plate and haven't got one, there'll be 9 more auctioned off. Now I'd like to have Mary Lou Mahar come forward to the presentation of the Centennial quilt to the people of Williamsfield. Sandy Smith also has something to present.
I think
First of all, me, Mary Lamar, Carol Mackey, Marilyn Dubit, Betty Dubit, Lola Bell Taylor, Lisa Stevens, Barb Ross, Mary McCormick from McClaw, Vera Scott Joseph, and Al Tucker. They all helped was Quilt, along with all the rest of the ladies. And then a lady from Gate City, Louise Hess, is going to be helping us tomorrow with the Quilt show. Now, the elevator was made by Marilyn Hewitt. The bank was made by Marilyn Hewitt. The railroad depot was made by Carol Mackey and myself. Caldwell Cottage was made by Alpha. KP Hall was made by Marilyn. I made the bandstand part. Betty Dubutt and Lola Bell Taylor made the fire. Telephone offices were made by Marilyn Dubutt. The bank was made by Lisa Stevens. The high school was made by Lola Bell Taylor. The Catholic Church was made by Mark Ross. Dubutt made the older grade school. Carol Mackey and I made the Methodist Church. And the grade, well, it's not the present grade school, they just tore it down. And, let's see, Vera Scodgel worked on the cemetery. Lola Bell and Betty Dubutt made this. Marilyn Dubutt did the hotel. And Betty Dubutt did the... And I hope you all come to the quilt show Saturday and Sunday to take a better look at it.
Ladies, come over here for a minute. Barb and Carol and Mary Lou, when you get that situated. They don't know this is going to happen. This is kind of a surprise to these women here who work so hard. And also for Marilyn Dubutt, Betty Dubutt, Lola Bell Taylor, Lisa Stevens, Audrey Kinnear, Helen Mackey, Mary McCormick, Isabel Kinnear, Garrett Gibson, Vera Stodgel, Malcolm Tucker, and Louise Mackey. We'd like to present this plaque to go along with the quilt that'll be in Caldwell Cottage. That'll say 1888, 1988, Williamsfield Centennial Quilt, handmade by, and it lists all the women's names.
Thank you, ladies. That's beautiful. The quilt that was up there the first time, they'll be selling chances on it in the gymnasium, the old gym, when they have their quilt show Saturday and Sunday. Now we'd like to have the recognition of the honored guest by Gloria Johnson.
Greetings, Honorable Committee Chairman, Honorable Mayor, friends, and honored guests. Tonight on the opening night of Williamsfield Centennial Celebration, we are honoring these people because they're the ones who have contributed to our town and community the greatest number of years. Can you hear me? Together they represent approximately 2,800 years of living in this community. We don't have all of them with us tonight. As you see in your program, invitations were sent to all of these people, including a name that was left out, and we're sorry for that, Edna Dubutt, and she is here tonight. When these people were children, the horseless carriage was still in its experimental stage. But by the time these folks were starting to school, America owned more than 1 million cars. They attended grade school, and some attended high school in the old wooden building that housed both grade and high school students. Grades 1 to 5 were on the lower floor, with 6th, 7th, 8th grades and high school on the upper floor. 2 teachers taught the first 5 grades, while 4 teachers taught upper grades and high school classes. This school also had a library. At the end of the school term each spring, these youngsters celebrated by going to Tucker Hollow for the annual flower hunt and all-school picnic. Kids, teachers, and parents shared a potluck dinner, and games followed in the afternoon. Transportation then was mostly on foot. Wintertime found these kids walking to Tuck's Pond to skate all day or to Spoon River, where it wasn't unheard of to skate from the old Mackey Bridge to the big rock near Lapham Bridge on a Sunday afternoon, Sammy Tucker, that's Doris Hart's grandfather, wouldn't let anyone skate on Tuck's Pond until the ice was 6 inches thick. He sent word to school when it was ready, and the kids flocked out there after school and on weekends. The old wooden school building burnt in 1933, and Aunt Larson told me the other day an interesting story about the day the school burned. Old Dr. Oberholzer stopped to get gas at the gas station that Anton and his brother Punch operated, where the Amoco station is now. Dr. Oberholzer looked across the street at the school building and noticed smoke coming from it. He alerted the principal, who was Charles Harbison, who got the students out of the building safely. Luckily, it was noon, and most pupils had gone home for lunch. Until a new school building was built the following year, students continued classes, some of them in the old Rice's store building, now Baird's Insurance. Margaret Moreland Weaver was a young primary teacher at that time and remembers the trials of teaching in those difficult circumstances, which included rats. A high school had been built in the 1920s. Before that, however, one of the most popular sports was girls' basketball. These people, especially you ladies, remember that 2 girls' basketball teams earned $80 one winter when they had games in the old Spencer Brothers store building. Some of those players were Orpha Ott Hart, Myrtle Mosier Reed, Viola Van Winkle Jones, Lois Caldwell German, Vesta Smith Gross, Susie Kimler Spencer, Alpha Spencer Tucker, Grace McMain Camp, Leon Morgan Peterson, Maud German Monday, Marie England Biederbeck, Verna Spencer Forker, and Julia Eastman Maynard. Bob Marshall was the high school principal, and he asked the girls to give the money they earned from those games, the admission was 15 cents in those days, to buy the boys basketball uniforms. The girls protested, but that was before ERA, so the money was spent for the boys' uniforms. Other entertainments these young folks enjoyed were dances and plays held in the old Spencer store building in George Wright's hall. George Wright also did magic tricks, and his audience later repeated his lingo to each other as they tried to perform the same tricks. One of his favorite comments seemed to be small pieces of silk. Every summer, a highlight was the Gordonier Brothers show that came to Williamsfield from Bushnell, Illinois. It was a tent show and included plays and music and jokes. The location of the Gordonier Brothers show was in a lot north of what is now the Squirrel Cage. One special attraction was when one of the brothers showed his diamond tooth to his astonished audience. Well, if you were short on cash and had the patience to wait until the show was half over, the sides of the tent were let down, and patrons could see the last part of the show free. Or, if you lived close by, you could see into the tent from your upstairs window, my mother tells me. Another tent show was the Jessie Colton Show, held on the lot south of the old hotel. A little girl, a star performer, wore real silk dresses, and her clothes were the envy of the local girls. As all kids were, and are, she admired the simple cotton clothes of the Williamsfield kids. People in the Colton show stayed at the hotel or in private homes, and they gave free tickets to those people. The Coltons even allowed the kids to watch their rehearsals. Popcorn and candy were sold on show nights, and seats were 2 prices, bleachers being the cheapest, and canvas-seated chairs located in front, the most expensive. One of the patrons of a local saloon, and his name, I don't know, at that time decided to stage a one-man horse show. He had handbills printed and drew a large crowd. He made a grand entrance, riding his horse right into the hall. He did a few tricks with a lariat, but evidently he had spent too much time in the saloon, because the show ended prematurely when the star fell off his horse. Well, did these folks ever get out of Williamsfield very often in those days? Oh yes. One of the best times of all was riding the local to Galesburg from the Santa Fe depot. It left about 9:30 or 10 a.m. After spending the day in the burg, they boarded the train for Billtown. They all remember riding Old 120. It was a social time, with lots of fun, even though the train stopped at every crossing to take on water or to load and unload. Passengers brought and shared lunches, had candy and popcorn. They visited and sang songs before arriving home at a late hour, possibly near midnight. At that time, did you know the street lights were turned off at 10 o'clock? But a warning was given about 10 minutes before the blackout. So those late front porch callers hurried home. Or maybe they enjoyed sitting in the dark. World War I saw some of these saying goodbye to brothers and boyfriends who enlisted to defend their country. Jessie Mackey Huber was married to Clyde Huber just 2 years after the armistice was signed, and after he had served in the Army. They had the distinction of celebrating 61 years of marriage before his death, a truly remarkable achievement. During the 1920s, automobiles were seen more and more. Do you know there were 5 million on the road then? And a local school teacher, Lois Caldwell, bought her first auto, a snazzy Ford Coupe in 1923 from Moon and Kerrigan Ford dealers in Williamsfield. She didn't even have to crank it. It had a self-starter, plus side curtains. However, she still had to travel on mud roads. But by then, road to Peoria was paved halfway. It was better than the 7-mile walk she made daily, one way, when she taught school at a school up in Redbrush. In the fall of 1928, a young girl from Galesburg came to teach first and second grades in the school. And it wasn't long before a young gentleman, Gerald Weaver, was stopping by the school to take a postgraduate course, I guess. The romance flourished, and Gerald and Margaret were married in 1936, but had to keep it a secret because married teachers were not hired by the Board of Education in those days. The 1930s saw these men and women suffering a nationwide depression, with men out of work and tough times for everyone. In this community, most were fortunate to have gardens, cows, pigs, chickens, eggs, and milk. However, I recall one day when my mother came home from town, she set a big sack of groceries on our kitchen table and said to my dad, "Jim, it's terrible. We're spending $1 a day for groceries." And that fed a family of 5 people. In the 40s, World War II brought sad times when the draft law enforced 18-year-olds into service for their country. These folks saw sons, daughters, brothers, and friends leave home to defend their country in unfamiliar places like Iwo Jima, Corregidor, Pearl Harbor, Normandy, Omaha Beach, Saipan, Okinawa. Remember the slogans of wartime? A slip of the lip might sink a ship, and buy war bonds. With World War II came gas rationing, rubber tire rationing, coffee rationing, sugar, shoes, and meat was rationed. These people stood in line to buy Jell-O, bananas, pineapple, and good chewing gum. Housewives had to plan because there was a ration book for each member of the family, but the ration stamps were to be used only during a certain period of time. Folks didn't go far from home in those days, but with a free show in the village park on Saturday night and Happy Hollow Lake not very far away, there were places to go. Then, do you know, kids like me, Could buy a nickel sack of popcorn from Elvie Norman, whose popcorn wagon was located near the park every Saturday night. Or you could go into Tip Kell's store after the show and buy a 2-dipper ice cream cone for 5 cents. These honored guests here raised their kids without dishwashers, ice makers, clothes dryers, freezers, disposable diapers, and TV dinners. Who had even heard of TV? They didn't have daycare centers, babysitters, except relatives. They didn't have computer dating, Disney World, FM radio, tape decks, VCR, word processors, disco dancing, or the Beatles. For them, time sharing meant togetherness, not computers or condominiums. Hardware meant hardware, and software wasn't even a word. However, they have seen the advent of the airplane, electricity, dial phones, TV, nylon stockings, washers with ringers, interstate highways, and jet air travel. They have lived through 4 wars, have seen 11 presidents take office, and have served their village, their state, and their country. They have become teachers, farmers, business people, and housewives. Altogether, they have raised 66 children and have helped to spoil 145 grandchildren. And who knows how many great-grandchildren. They have been good citizens, respected residents, good neighbors, and loyal friends. One author defines success, and it seems to fit all of these people. To laugh often and much, to win respect of intelligent people and affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know that even one life has breathed easier because you live. This is to have succeeded. There's more I could add, but my mom censored a few things.
Thank you, Gloria. Hey. Shelby Mackey, who thought up the theme for our Centennial, Let's Celebrate 100 Years, will be with us at the table back here to cut it. Also, Sylvia Dunn, our Miss Centennial Queen, will be back there. Mayor Gene Young. So, would you honored guests stay in the front 2 rows while we get some pictures of you. And then everybody else line up for birthday cake. And after we eat our birthday cake, all the children get 1 balloon, and we'll go outside together and let all 1,000 of them up at once.
want these, Mother?
Someone actually wants coffee.
More than the other night, right?
Is that a hand?
Pretty good crowd.
You carry one and I'll carry two. Okay. Sure.
But here, Joey.
You're gonna get mom's. Yeah, I'll bring my mom's. That way I can
All waiting on the rain. Two more days. Somewhere.
Yep.
You got him down on me again here.
Should we take some boy kids?
Should we take one to Grandma Cheryl?
Keep it dipping, Junior. Come on.
Plates. Those are other plates.
You get to drink a little bit. Mine little one not quite so strong. She got something else says the plate are not quite so strong. That's for Gary. That's good. Yeah. Just make ours about half full. Half full. How many of them? Here, take that. A couple more half full. Here comes Donna with some more. We're going to have a big one. That's fine. Half full. Thank you. You better put some ice in it. It's getting all the way
Great. How many slides for?
I think this is great. Well, I'm sure they won't mind it to rice.
Unplug that cord and pull it back up.
They're still lined up.
Yeah, just get it put them in.
They're lined up. They're lined up back to the office. Cups. more.
Quilt is going to behind the line.
Kind of clipped your beard a little bit, didn't you? Glad you made it up here. Yeah.
Try to get the narrative, let's get her to go around because it was warm.
I wish I knew how many.
You've been busy. I just very nice. Very nice.
job to lick.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing it rather heavily. Well, my sister. Nobody can hear.
I'll carry it. I'll carry it. I got five. I'll carry it. Oh, that's perfect, isn't
I know they're using a lot of the air.
Yeah, it's getting close to the end of the line. I don't know, it seems like an awful lot. I told him about Clayton didn't have that camera. Somebody wants my
I'm not sure if it's going to start on
He's right up here by the kitchen, being right in front of the kitchen.
I was not
And that's your second argument. I caught you.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
I want a little piece of cake with my frosting. I got the doctor.
ordered to late. You're going to release the
I'll
board.
be back tonight. I gotta go watch it.
Before the play.
Be another 100 years before they have another one of these.
Glenn was here in 1991.
Anton Larson. What year were you born, Anton?
1905.
1905.
I'll be 83 a week from today.
Week from today. What's the date?
30th.
30th? Well, a happy birthday to you, even in advance there, Anton.
It's gonna go, doesn't it?
We're sorry we're doing this to you.
I think so. Carrie's gonna take us home.
I'm going to
I'll meet you there at the table later when I get started.
and then I'm going to call Bob.
I know. Did you mind the t-shirt? My t-shirts are in there too. I'll give them to you, and then you can take them home.
Oh, you should have been out here.
In a melodrama, you have to be a part of this play. Look at them at all. You won't be able to see those during the show because there won't be any lights on, but I think you can remember them. Every character, pretty much, all the major characters have their own little music that comes on when they come in or when they go out or
You can bet your boots and save your shoes for Sunday. We'll be there. My cousin here has been a fixing and a cooking for 3 days now. And she's sure her basket's going to win the prize.
Well, I wouldn't count on it, Ebenezer. Just you wait till you get a taste of my Becky's blueberry pie. Now, I'll see you there. Okay.
Morning, Sheriff.
Morning, Solomon, Ruth. Morning, Angela.
Nice to see you, Sheriff.
I declare, Solomon, that little girl here gets prettier every day.
Thank you, but
I declare, excuse me, Sheriff, but didn't Angry bless that pretty little cheek of yours, Miss Angela, but I believe in calling a spade, and you're about the prettiest little drink in all Dilltown. Kind of reminds me of my Beulah Bell. May she rest in peace.
Oh, that's mighty nice of you, Sheriff. But I don't mind telling you that Angela here is more than just the apple of our eye. Why, she's a whole orchard of comfort in our old age.
You mark my words, Solomon, it won't be long before one of these young bucks around here gets little Angela's eye. Then your apple rolls in somebody else's basket.
I have to make the sheriff cry, but I
Now, Ruth, honey, no need for carrying on now. It's all right.
silly old woman, I know, but
now, Mother dear, how would you think I'd ever leave you and dear Father? I love you as much as if you were my real parent.
bless your heart, Angela. You are an angel.
Why, I love you so much that wild horses couldn't. I'm so sorry.
Oh, shucks, ma'am. The pleasure's all mine. I declare, there must be a recess in heaven because I just met an angel. She's got my heart playing leapfrog with my Adam's apple.
How handsome he is. How graceful.
That was plumb clumsy of me, miss. I hope you're not harmed in any way. Can I offer you a pippin? My name is Andy. Andy Hanson.
Thank you, sir. No, there was no harm done. In truth, I do believe I'm smitten with a malady for which I hope there is no cure. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hanson. My name's Angela. May I present my dear mother and father, Miss
pleased to meet you, Miss Tilford. Mr. Tilford.
How do you do, Hanson? I don't recollect seeing you around these parts before this. You new here?
Oh, you might say so. I just rode in a short spell ago. Signed on as a lumberjack, part-time hand up there.
Hey, everybody, come running. The show like coming.
Oh, man, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to stay home and take care of the chores.
I know, Solomon. I did those chores at a gallop. I did the weeding, and the feeding, and the seeding. Master, you could say jump a Josephat, because Jed rode by to the show wagon coming. Hope you don't mind, Solomon.
Not at all, Ned. Why, you're the best hand I ever had. And if you say the chores are done, why, I know they're done. A show wagon, you say?
Yep, and I heard they got a medicine man that has more tricks up his sleeve than a dog has ticks. Hey, everybody, there's gonna be a show.
There's gonna be a show with dancing girls, songs and such. There's gonna be a show. We can feel it in the air, and everyone will go. This is what we miss so much. Old-fashioned social with music in the air. Every girl wants to love, and boys will wear their front tickets. Put on your favorite line and tie it in the home. There's gonna be a show.
Back in extra special basket, we might invite a special guest to
Listen to the drum beat and hear the bugle blow. And then tomorrow to the rest there's gonna be a show. There's gonna be a show. Looky there. Here they come. Oh, I'll be doggone.
Morning, good morning. I'm here to tell you, fine folk, it's going to be the luckiest morning of the rest of your lives. Egad, these ACs look ripe for the plucking. Dr. Ivy Cutworthy at your service. And I stand before you, fine folks, living proof of a miracle. And I'm here to share that miracle with you, fine folks oh yes, Billtown. Yes.
He doesn't know the name of the town.
Folks, now do not scoff and do not doubt. All I ask is that you hear me out. Yes.
Come on and step right up and you'll get yours. Now don't you pine if you are feeling poor. You'll feel just fine with Dr. Ivy's cures. A certain sign that health alone procures. Just step in line and jump without the gears. And get online and happiness endures. Come on and dine and sit this up and dine and have a cup and step right up and you'll get yours.
Oh, do not pine.
Oh, do not pine if you're feeling blue.
You'll feel just fine.
You'll just feel fine with Dr. Ivy next year's
A certain sign.
a certain sign that happiness endures.
Oh, just drink the wine.
Oh, drink the wine of happiness endures.
Oh, come and dine.
Oh, come and dine and time to sup and dine and sip the sup and have right up and you'll get yours. Have right up and sup and zap, right up and sup and step right up and you'll get yours.
As I got mine.
My friends, I have a story to tell you that will most likely change your lives, that has changed mine. Why, 1 year ago today, the man standing before you was a bedridden invalid. All the fine doctors of the East stood at my bedside, but all they could do, clap their and shake their heads in sympathy. I was truly prepared to meet my maker. Just at that time, I had a friend visit me, Chief Flying Cloud. Chief is possibly the oldest living member of his tribe. If you were to look at him today, you'd say, that man's a man of 50. But I'm here to tell you, my friends, there's documented information that the Chief Flying Cloud is 110 years old. Chief was feeling a little malevolent today. He came to visit me. It seems his wife had just given birth to a 10-pound bouncing baby boy.
Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar, have a talk with them.
Well, it seems that the chief took one look into my dying eyes and decided right then and there that he was going to share with me a secret formula that had been kept in his family's tribe for over 11 generations. And that, my dear friends, is the magical elixir of life. And I'm here to tell you, my friends, that I took one sip of the bottle of this elixir of life, one small sip, took the winter in my blood, and put spring in my step. And I've been full of life ever since.
Yeah, you're full of life.
My friend, I have dedicated my life to saving lives. In your case, I can make an exception. Oh, you're a tight one, my friend. There, have a bite of that, Sergeant.
Come on back here, sausage head. That ought to be a lesson to you.
Now, my friends, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Gadzooks, what a ravishing beauty. I must add her to my collection before I leave this mud hole. Yes. All my fine advisors had told me that I should sell the elixir for $10, $20, $50, and $100, and only the rich and famous. But I made a solemn promise to the chief that I would not profit off of his family's secret. So I'm here to tell you, my friends, that I will make available for you today the magic elixir of life for not $10 a bottle, not even $5 a bottle, no, not even $1 a bottle. Today and today only. Just $1/2. Hurry up, getting away.
Oh, here you are, folks. The magic elixir of life, just 50 cents a bottle.
Yes, sirree. 50 cents is mighty hard to come by these days, and I'll not be taken in by such flim flam.
Now, there, sir. We have plenty more things today. Selling feats of magic. We have dancing girls, and they're all free. Free. And now, for my next demonstration, I'll need a volunteer from the audience.
I'll help you, mister.
How about this young lady over here? Would you care to help me with my demonstration?
Me? Why, no, not me, sir. I just died.
Come, my dear. I'd like for you to help me on the stage. I'd like to talk to you after the show.
Please, sir, let go of me.
Yeah, you heard the lady, mister. Let go of her.
I'll mind you to mind your own business, young man.
Well, I'm making this my business right now.
just about to apologize to this young lady and this dark young man. It's just all misunderstanding.
Well, I think you understood my message right now.
Yes, sir. You ought to be commended for your motive. Well, how about if we just forget this whole situation incident and get on with the show for these fine folks? Yes.
Before you get on with anything, let's have a look at your vendor's permit.
My vendor's what?
Permit, friend, permit. You can't vend nothing this town unless you've got a permit.
They threw me out of Peoria for that exact reason. I'll have to milk these hazies before I get to the next stop. Why, Sheriff, I was not aware that your community had such a law. But let it be known that Dr. I.B. Cutworthy is not a staunch supporter of the law. Where do I obtain such a permit?
You have to see Joanne Smith, the town clerk.
And where do I find Joanne Smith?
Beats me. Joanne's out looking for deer. Won't be back.
I see Cat at the post office. She said she won't be back until late this afternoon.
Well, in that case, Joanne will be down at the saloon long about sundown. But in the meantime, you hitch up that wagon and get it out of town so you get that permit.
Oh, come on, Sheriff. We're going to put on the show.
Not by a long shot. The law's the law.
Don't worry, mister. I'll help you find Joanne Smith and get that permit for you. And you can do your show down at the Basket Social at Tucker Hollow. The whole town will be there.
Well, thank you, my young man. And how may I ever thank you? Yes, I said that. And where may I find Tucker Hollow?
He's for a long nut. I'll take you there. Look right wagon.
Ooh, I'm sure something can be arranged.
I hope you don't mind, Solomon.
Not at all, Ned. Take the whole day off. You deserve it.
Stay right here, Mr. Cutworthy. You just stay right here and I'll get that permit for you. Hey, everybody, it's gonna be a show.
Now, folks, we thank you all for this inconvenience. And I'd like to ask you all to see me at the show tonight. Yeah. Excuse me, folks, I do hope that you'll all be at the Basket Social this evening. I wouldn't want to miss my performance.
We'll be there, all right. And I'd advise you to keep your hands to yourself next time.
Sure. My apologies before, and would do so again.
I think he meant no harm, Solomon. The good book tells us not to be too quick to judge.
That's the truth, Ruth. So I'd say that I will reserve my judgment. Now let's be going. Come on.
Will I see you at the show tonight?
Well, certainly we'll be there with a basket full of victuals. Perhaps you'd like to come along and join us for a little bit of Angela's apple pandowdy.
Bet I'll be there. You can count on it. It's over at Tucker Hollow, didn't you say?
That's right. That's right. Hey, you know what? Our place is just on the way from the mill. Why don't you stop by and ride in with us on the buckboard?
Why, that'd be mighty nice, Solomon, but I sure don't want to put you folks out, man.
Oh, no trouble at all. Why, I think it's only fitting after the fine way that you stood up for our Angela this afternoon. Well, we'll see you then. Let's go.
Well, that girl's got my heart whirling like a buzzsaw. But I sure don't like that stranger's attentions to her. No, sir. I don't care for the cut of that Cutworthy.
Yeah, killing there.
Hurting, please.
You mealy mouth minion!
But Ignatius, these poor people, they can't afford the money you charge.
Silence, Strummett! The day you start feeling sorry for those suckers is the day your usefulness for me comes to an end. Now, be gone with you. I must prefer a stratagem to change this morning's misadventures to my advantage. Be gone with you. You severing, sickening, seasoning C-words.
Regret it.
Rise, evil genius. Let me find the way
to bilk these bubble-headed buffoons. Sure. A blessing in disguise. The basket social. The whole town will be there. A perfect setup for my pitch. Imogene botched my pitch. I ought to jettison her immediately. That pretty Princess Prairie Dog wouldn't make a fine replacement for that washed-out wanton. How do I make her mine? How do I get her alone? I must contrive a convenient go-between.
Hey, Mr. Medicine, here I am. I was looking for Joanne Smith, but she's still hunting. But they'll let me know as soon as she gets back.
My supplications to Satan had been answered. I'd almost forgot about this willing idiot. Yes, my boy. And I want to thank you for that, yes. How can I ever repay you for that?
Well, I was wondering, Mr. Notworthy.
Not worthy. Cutworthy. I mean, Cutworthy.
Sure, Dr. Gutworthy.
Not Gut. Cutworthy. Dr. Ignatius B. Cutworthy.
Sure, Dr. Ignat. Dr. Ignat. Dr. Ignat. Can I call you Doc?
Patience, Ignatius. This jabbering jackanapes is just what the doctor ordered. Yes, of course you may, my son.
And you can call me Ned. Ned Penny. Because that's my name. And I don't have a dime. Get it? Penny, dime?
Egad. If I didn't have a use for this ninny, I'd drop him down a hole somewhere and do the whole world a favor. My boy, your humor is as sharp as your appearance. Have you ever thought about being in show business?
Oh, I know you're just funning me, Doc. But I was wondering, how'd you pull them wieners out of that feller's ear like that? That'd come in awful handy on a hot afternoon. After work, yeah.
Egad. If ignorance is bliss. And this would be a blister. My boy, the occult knowledge is known by only a few. But I can tell you are a man of sensitivity and discernment. Why, I would be happy to teach you the magical mystics of the prestidigitation and dislegibility.
Does that mean you're going to show me how you do it?
Of course, yes. But first, I must ask a favor or two of you.
You bet.
As you know, I'm here to help these fine folks, but I cannot do so if I do not know them a little better. For example, that fine young-looking lady that acted as though she didn't want to help me in my show. I don't suppose you happen to know her name, do you, Ned?
For a smart man, you're sure wrong about that. That there was Miss Angela Tilford.
Angela Tilford. A name as angelic as her own sweet face. But I wouldn't suppose that you could direct me in the direction of her lover.
I don't think that'd be a good idea, Doc. She didn't have a big hankering to belabor with yet until this morning.
As I was telling her, and as I'll tell you, my boy, it was all a misunderstanding. All I care to do is to exchange a few secret words with her, you know, something to enhance her life with the children, to make it a much more positive.
I think she'd like that. She lives just on the road to get to the folks.
Ha! My boy, you are doing well. I am seriously considering making you magician's assistant first class. How would you like it?
Would I? I'm gonna be magician's assistant at tonight's show too?
By all means, my son, you can beat the drum. How would you like that?
Would I? Can I get a couple whacks right now?
No, Ned, no. You see, Ned, the drum is part of our act, and I don't have any permits. You wouldn't want to break the law, now would you?
No, sirree. Well, like the sheriff says, the law is the law. Charge! Well, I'm off.
Yeah, I'd say.
I'll find Joanne Smith to do that permit for you.
Ignatius, you're in rare form tonight. Soon I'll have built these buffoons for every cent they own, and made that delicious Angela mine.
Something familiar as can be, yet
Well, judging from the look on her face, I'd say she told you she just swallowed a canary. And judging from the look on your face, I'd say you was siding with the canary.
Oh, Solomon, how can you josh at a time like this? When we're about to lose our little girl and...
Who's her? What do you say that for?
Well, Angela's in love.
In love? You don't say. Is that true, Angela?
I'm happy to say that it is, Father.
Oh, I know I should be happy for her, but it's just that...
Ah, shucks, Ma, we don't need that. Why, we ought to be celebrating. Who's the lucky fella, Angela?
Oh, I doesn't say just yet. He hasn't spoken his mind yet. And until he does, it'll have to be my secret.
Well, now, that's a secret a body ought not to have to puzzle over all night to fathom. Oh, it's getting late. Hadn't you ought to be changing for the social? That handsome fella's gonna be riding in with us, and he'll be here for long.
Good gracious, yes. I must look a fright. Thank you, Father dear. I must fly.
Oh, Solomon, I don't understand you. Here we are, face to face with the idea we might be losing our little girl, and you stand there grinning like a Cheshire cat.
Now, Ruth, we've been through this all before. There's no need for this carrying on. Now, you know that neither one of us is getting a day younger. And one of these times, our young Angela's gonna need a good, strong arm to protect her. I just hope she gets the right one.
I know you're right, Solomon, but I just can't stand the thought of losing our little girl. Why, it seemed like only yesterday we found her in that leaky rowboat off Spoon River shore.
Off Spoon River shore.
Dressed in that sailor's jacket. She looked like such an angel. I knew right away her name would be Angela.
And she's been our little angel ever since. And now she's in love. And if my hunch is right, why, she's setting her cap for a right smart young fella.
Oh, Solomon, what is your hunch?
Well, now, she told us it'd have to be her secret for a spell yet, so I guess we'll have to leave it at that.
Oh, you know I can't stand secrets, especially such a big one as this.
Yes,
I wonder who it could be. Could it be that Andy Hansen that was at town this morning? He kind of took a shine to her. That might work out just fine. He could quit the mill and come move in with us here and come to work for you, and we wouldn't be losing our little girl at all.
Oh, now, don't you think you're getting just a little bit previous?
Well, I suppose so. But I think you're being mean not to share your hunch with me.
Well, now, you just put that on the back burner and let her simmer a spell. We'll see. I think I hear someone coming up the path right now. Of course, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised none if the answer to your question comes through that door right about now. I wasn't expecting that.
My chef, you used to surprise for me. You're looking right smack at a magician's assistant. First class.
You don't say.
Yep. I found Joanne Smith and got the permit, so the show's all legal and ready to go. Yes, sirree. And I polished up the fittings on the drum, and I swept out the inside of the wagon, and I seen some of his dancing girls too, Solomon. They sure are pretty. And some of the get-ups they wear don't amount to nothing much. Sure is gonna be a great show, and Alton Edgar is gonna be a part of it.
Well, Ned, now you sound like you're falling in love with show business.
Oh, no.
Don't tell us you'll be leaving us too.
No, Solomon. I'm just having a whale of a time tonight at the show. But if it come right down to it, I'd a heap rather be farming. Now I don't have a worry in this head of mine, and I don't get upset if the sun don't shine, for if things ain't working out my way, I know they'll get better some other day. Easy going me, feeling good and fancy free, I'm so glad to be easy going me. Now I wouldn't begrudge another man for trying to be the best he can, 'cause I make mistakes, then I see them through, and I try to get done what I got to do. Easy going me, feeling good and fancy free, I'm so glad to be easy going me. Now I wouldn't give a hoot or a tinker's darn to be anything other than what I am, for I know what's right and I know what's wrong, and I know that's enough to get along. Easy going me, feeling good and fancy free, I'm so glad to be easy going me. I'm so glad to be easy going me. I'll not leave you. Who's leaving?
Why, Angela. She says she's in love, and she's not saying who with. It's nearly driving me crazy. Solomon here has a hunch, and he's not saying either.
Golly, ma'am. Angela's in love, you say? I'll bet you I know who it is. It's gotta be that doc fella. Well, he was asking all sorts of questions all day long about her. Yep, this and that. But I didn't.